people. So I I'm getting really sick and tired of this. I really, really am. I I'm sick and tired of people who don't know what they're talking about 50 Shades of Grey, the movie, not the book. I'm not talking about the book. Still have major issues with the book. The writing of the book is horrible. There's scenes in there that just are wrong and are bad, and yes, can be seen as this, but not the movie. There's not one thing that happens in the movie that's not consensual. Not one thing that happens in the movie that is not completely agreed upon by all parties. And regardless of whether he had a fucked up childhood or she had a fucked up childhood or whatever the hell it is, the bottom line is that everything that happens in this movie is consensual. She agrees to everything that happens. Everything. Every placing. Everything that goes on. And I keep reading articles that are lying about the movie. Read an article today that said that the movie, not the book, but the movie, disregards safe words. That's an outright lie. It's an outright lie. There is a scene in the movie where they talk about safe words, and he's saying it in a way that is, if this is something they've already had the discussion, he is just reminding her that the safe words are there. And not just using a random safe word, but actually using yellow and red. If you've watched my videos for years, you know that I have said that you should be using green, yellow, and red as safe words. They used yellow and red. They lied. They're lying about this. It is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic that there are. Whether this is a movie that 70% or more, attracted women and only, 20 or 30% were men. So what? So what? Okay? The reality is that if you watch the movie for what it is and not for what they tell you it is, you will find that it is all consensual. There is no domestic violence at all in this movie. And I'm sick and tired of people using this as a way to try to forward their little fucking agendas about domestic violence. I hate to tell them this, and I'm going to be very blunt about this. I am a survivor of a domestic violence relationship. I was on the receiving side of the domestic violence. So when I hear you talking about this project and this lifestyle and the way this is, and acting as if it's these weak women who don't know what they're doing, and they're being manipulated by these cruel and evil men, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This lifestyle has been around for a long time. Domestic violence has been around for a long time, and they have nothing to do with each other. Everything that I do with consent. I don't ever do anything non-consensually. And for you to use something that I have been through, something I am still dealing with emotionally, as a wedge issue for your little cause celeb to use against me and my community, fuck you. Fuck you and your little way of thinking. Oh, women, can't be submissive because, they don't know what it is. They don't know what they're doing, and these men are taking advantage of them. Fuck you. Fuck you. The strongest women I have ever met are some of the strongest women I have ever met are been submissives and slaves inside the BDSM community. And how dare you belittle them? How dare you belittle these people? These people who are very strong, self-aware individuals about who they are and their sexuality and what makes them feel good and how they can make their partners feel good, and the open and honest communication it takes to get there. That's something that domestic violence doesn't have. And by the way, if you watch the goddamn movie and not just prejudged it, you would have seen that they had that open and honest communication. But no, it's too fucking simple. You just think you're just going to throw this thing on top of it without actually watching the goddamn movie and turn around and say all this shit that's absolute total lies and bullshit and think that you're making a point when all you're doing is making yourself look like an idiot. Fuck you. Fuck you. Crawl back into your hole. Leave us alone. This is a sub-community, a subculture, and a community that you do not understand. Move on. Get on with your life. Go find other people to go find real domestic violence. Go help the real victims. Go help the real people who have been involved, who are both the women and the men who are being victims of domestic violence. You're pathetic. Stop this witch hunt and bullshit garbage and move on with your fucking lives. I am a survivor of domestic violence. I almost was killed twice when my partner decided she wanted to come at me with a knife to my back. And the only reason I'm here today is the first time I caught her out of the corner of my eye and was able to stop her. The second time is because I had somebody else in the house that screamed, "Oh my God, Mike, she's coming at you with a knife." I had black eyes. I had sores all over my body from things that she threw at me. Like big rocks. Or bottles of Southern Comfort and Wild Turkey that she was drinking. And all the time, I was sitting there saying, oh, if I just would do something better, I could fix this. I could fix it. I could fix it. I could fix it. I understand how people who are trapped in domestic violence relationships are, because I'm not only just a person saying that I understand the basics of the BDSM and the basics of a dominant submissive relationship. I am a fucking survivor of a fucking domestic violence relationship. I am a victim who is trying to make his way in the world and not have to deal with this. And I hear you out here belittling this and belittling my community and belittling things that I do, because a lot of what happened in that movie, a lot of what Christian Grey did in that movie was all shit that I've done consensually, with honor and respect. Fuck you. Get over yourself. Stop lying.